Some of y'all prayers not getting answered because y'all don't know the God that y'all serve. Some of y'all prayers not getting answered because y'all refuse to be submitted to God. Hear me out. You can't say that, oh, I believe in God, I love God, pray, and then be outside his will, and then think he's finna bless it. He's a God of order. He wants you to always be in his will. So whatever prayer that you're praying, or over my relationship, or over this, but it's not in his will, it won't be answered. Not by him, at least. Now the devil will convince you that it's a blessing from God, but because you don't know God's voice, you'll get the voice of the enemy or blessing from the enemy confused with the blessing from God, because you don't know the difference, right? So that's where discernment comes in at. But God is not going to answer anything that's outside of his will. Point blank, period. Like, I'm sorry, he'll listen to your prayers, but he's not listening to your prayers. He's like, I wish that she would just, or he would just pray if it's in my will, if it happens. And when it's not in his will and it don't happen, you being okay with it. Some of y'all will pray that prayer and then not be okay with it and try to force it to happen, when God was like, she just asked me. He just asked me. And they don't listen. They don't listen. Now, he is a good father. He will give good gifts, regardless of we deserve it or not. But understand that he is not going to bless anything that's not in his will. The second thing is the God y'all don't even know the God that y'all serve for real. Some of y'all believe, oh yeah, there's a God, but y'all don't really believe in Jesus. In order to get to the Father, you got to get through the Son. I'm sorry. In order to get to the Father, you have to get through the Son. It says that in the Bible. And y'all be trying to skip hierarchies. Y'all be trying to skip that part, right? Y'all just be trying to go to God, but you don't know Jesus. You know of Jesus. You don't get to know Jesus. You don't know nothing about Jesus other than what you hear. And know Jesus is on God's right hand, right? They're the same person, but he's on his right hand. And he's our advocate. Then when y'all want to condone y'all sin, then it's, oh, everybody's somewhat correct, the Buddha's somewhat correct, the Jehovah's Witness somewhat correct, and all these other people somewhat correct. But when y'all want supernatural provisions, when y'all want somebody to, supernatural healing and praying over your food or praying over your finances, then all of a sudden y'all praying to the big G. Y'all praying to God. You feel me? The Christian God. But any other time, he's one of them. Well, then go talk to the other ones when you need help. Why you run to our God, the real God, when you need help with something, but when you want to do your will and you want to be, in the world, then everybody's somewhat correct. Nah, go pray to the little water God then. Go pray to the little fire God. Go pray to, the Buddhist people and stuff like that. Don't come to our God or the God when you need something. You're not going to use my God for your own gain, and God knows your heart. So you praying like, well, whoever hear me, or you praying to the universe. The universe can't hear you, Buki. You praying to the universe cannot hear you, Buki. God made the universe. So when you skip God and you go to the universe, God is like, what? All right, whatever. Like, yeah, go pray to the universe. Like, and when a lot of the times y'all believe, because in the past God has answered y'all prayers, that y'all been like, believing in the right God. If it's in his will, he'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand, don't be mad at other people getting blessings before you when they're serving God, they're submitted to God, they're in his will, they know his voice. Don't be mad when people are getting things before you and you're like, well, I've been praying, I've been working, you've been working out of your own strength. You ain't asking nobody for help. You ain't asking God for help. You're asking God to bless the decision that you've already made. While other people that are submitted to God is, I'm not making a decision until God tells me otherwise. It's a huge difference. So before you sit down and get mad at God for blessing other people that's in his will, you need to check you. You need to check the God that you serve and actually stand on the God that you serve and not be wishy-washy when it's convenient for you. And you also need to understand that if it's not in his will, it's not in his will. I'm going to just leave it like that. Like, it's not God's fault. Half the time it's really our fault. And if he is really making you wait and it's in his will, it's because he know better than you. Like, I'm sorry, he know better than you. He know if he give it to you right now, you'll ruin it. Just like you want your children to trust you, he wants his children to trust him. We walk by faith and not by sight. I'm going to leave it just like that. Bye, y'all.